Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing my April TBR video, and my TBRs aren't something I'm going to be stressing out about. I really want them just to be kind of a guideline and see if I can get them done. I'm not the fastest reader in the world, so I'll probably overload my TBR and then end up with some books that I haven't finished by the end of the month, but that's okay. My first two books this month are going to be for the Alan Challenge. This was made by Seeking Stories for Alan from the Library of Alexandria, and I have already started Semblance of Sense, and I already like it so far. I'm about 100 pages in, and I already have, a whole bunch of tabs on here, just really good quotes and some plot points that I want to make sure I remember, because I have a feeling that things that I don't think are going to be important are going to end up being important. I know that Alan's been talking about this. Everybody on the Discord has been talking about this book, and so I have a little bit of FOMO, and I really want to catch up so I can talk to everybody. The second one for the challenge is going to be A Shadow in Summer, and I don't know a ton about this book. I don't really think I want to know a ton about it. I know that Alan loves it. Klaus has talked about it. He sped through it. A couple other people in the Discord have really, really loved it, and a bunch of us have pledged to read it. So I'm excited. I've seen it on, Reddit and on Imgur. Everybody has these 4 books on the best books to read list, and they're just not at bookstores. I could not find them anywhere. So I'm excited to start this one, and I think it's gonna be great. Next on my list is going to be the buddy read for this month for the Discord, and that is Morning Star by Pierce Brown. I really loved the first 2 in the trilogy. This is the last book in the first trilogy. I know there's a second one that we're going to be continuing to read, and the last book in that isn't out yet. But this, I think, is going to be just a ride, just a fantastic roller coaster of a book, because the first 2 were amazing. I sped through Golden Sun, and I know that not many people liked it, but I loved Red Rising. I thought it was so much fun. And I know the complaints that people had, that Darrow is a Gary Stew and that there are so many plot conveniences. And, I don't agree with people who say that Darrow's a Gary Stew. I think he does have reasons for what he's doing. I think he's a little too eloquent when he speaks for someone who is a Red. I don't really buy that. But I don't care about those plot conveniences because it's just so much fun. And at some point, I would rather have fun with the book than make it the most ingenious thing I've ever read. So I'm really excited for Morning Star. I am holding off until the last week of the month because I want to be fresh in my mind for the live chat that they're going to have. So Flamefall is the next book on my list, and it's the sequel to Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. Now, Fireborn, I danced around at the bookstore for a really long time before deciding to pick it up because Elliot Brooks would not stop talking about it. And so I said, fine, I'll do it. And I'm really, really glad I picked it up. I loved it so much. I read it in a day and a half or something. I think Rosaria Munda has created a masterpiece with her storytelling and the plot that she's created and these intricate characters she created. Not everyone in the story is perfect when it comes to character creation, but the 2 main protagonists, Annie and Lee, the way that she's woven their backstories in with the present day story, and how she's made the relationship between the 2 of them so complex because of their situation and their pasts and the situation they end up in by the end of the book, right when Flamefall starts. It's just great. I think she's really elevated this story away from the typical YA fantasy tropes, and I just really enjoyed it. The way that she's pulled from, Roman influence, and the fact that she really knows her stuff about politics because she has a degree in political theory from Princeton. She really knows her stuff, and so I can't wait to finish this. I'm going to have, was it a book hangover afterwards, waiting for the 3rd one to come out, but I will survive. Next on my list is something I hope to finish this month. I have been reading this book for a while. I started it back in February after I sped through the first two, and that would be The Last Argument of Kings. Now, I can't tell you why I haven't finished it yet. There's just, I don't know. I think I'm a bit of a mood reader. I hadn't heard that term until last week, but I really loved Before We Were Hanged. I had a little difficulty with Blade itself because I think I need a little more plot than the book was giving me, but Abercrombie's character work was amazing, and it continues to be so. I just don't think I've been in a mood for this book, and I just really want to get through it because I want to know what happens to Glocta really, really bad, because some things got spoiled for me in the standalones on accident. I don't think you can avoid everything on BookTube. And I just want to get to the standalones. I really, really want to read Best Served Cold, and I don't want to start those until I finish this. So hopefully I can get to this. I think I'm about to a point where it's going to snowball and I'm going to get really interested. So goal for the month. And then my last book that I want to do is a book from a series I haven't really heard anyone talk about on BookTube yet. And this is Authority. It's the second book in the Southern Reach trilogy. That's by Jeff Vandermeer. And I don't know, guys, I don't know why no one is talking about this book. Maybe I'm behind. Maybe they did a couple years ago. I don't know. But the movie version of the first book, which is right here, Annihilation, came out a couple years ago. It had like Natalie Portman in it and Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie and Thor. And the movie version sucked, okay? Like, my opinion, it really sucked. So if you tried the movie and you hated it, I would read the book. I think everyone should read these. It's trilogy. It's about basically 30 years ago, this shimmering curtain showed up out of nowhere and part of Earth got, turned into this unknown area that the government's calling Area X. And it's some form of magic that they don't understand, and it's transforming the land and the water and the creatures and everything that's inside of it. And so there's a government agency that I mentioned that is sending in expedition teams, wow, can't talk today, to go in and explore. And Annihilation is following the 12th expedition to go out, and it's 4 women. There's a psychologist, a biologist, who is the actual point of view for the book, and a surveyor, and then, what's the last one? What's the last one? Oh, an anthropologist. An anthropologist. And so they're going out to explore and try to, classify some things and see what's going on. And so Annihilation is about that. And Authority takes place right after the end of that expedition. And I don't really want to tell you what happens because I don't want to ruin the first book. But let me tell you one thing. Either no one comes out of Area X, or if they do come out, they're super effed up. So I'm super pumped to get to this book. I know I keep saying I'm pumped for everything, but guys, I wouldn't read these books if I wasn't excited for them. And this one's supposed to be more of like a, mystery. Like there's something going on that we don't really understand, because the point of view from this is the guy's name is Control, and he's the head of the government agency, but he's kind of out of the loop about a lot of things. So he's exploring what happened on the 12th expedition. So I can't wait to finish this. The last book, Acceptance, I have, and I'll be reading that next month, and then I'll do sort of like a wrap up and why you should read the Southern Reach trilogy. So thanks guys for listening, and we'll see if I can get everything done by the end of the month. So I'm going to go read now. Send, let it sends. Bye.